Welcome back on the couch with Minnie Foxx. We are talking about women empowerment. And I have a very special guest with me today. I'm so proud to introduce to you. She's an amazing woman of empowerment. Not only as a single mom, a phenomenal businesswoman, a friend, and a triple threat in the world of the men's society. Oh yeah, women power, that's what we're talking about. And help me to welcome today Dr. Money. Girl, I love, okay, her name is Stephanie, but I love saying Dr. Money because that's what she goes by. And one day I saw her beautiful Mercedes going down the street and it said Dr. Money. I'm like, oh, let's talk about this. Well, welcome to the show, Miss Stephanie. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's start a little bit about you being a mother. Let's start there.
My pride and joy.
Your pride and joy. I know everybody very well.
Love talking about that young man. Yeah, I had the wonderful opportunity to be a mom, son, young man, and just really nurturing someone from, the birth, starting out in the beginning and then watching him develop into this fine young man. It's been an exciting journey.
And what's your young man's name?
His name is Sterling Ardrey.
Hi, Sterling. I hear you're a movie producer. I'm just getting my, audition in. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So wonderful. So Sterling is in the music industry and the film industry. And tell us something that you're really proud of that he's already created.
Well, I'm really proud of, I used to make the statement when he was a little baby, like getting dressed in the morning, and as he was getting dressed, I would say baby. Now remember, it's all a business. So when I take you to childcare, I want you to think about your business ideas and see what you can create today.
Yes.
And believe it or not, he took it to heart, and the kid became a working actor at 4. And before we know it, he was working actor, SAG, doing commercials and all of those things. But what I liked about his little spirit is that he took it to heart. So he would show up to set with his notes, his script ready, and he stood out as a young person because he would be directing the adults.
That's
and
right.
So to see him now take that and want to create his own production company and advance his career, but still take into consideration the things that he's been exposed to business-wise, raising capital and things of that nature, is really exciting. And, just to get his feedback that along this journey to him, he's like, well, Mommy, you're my hero.
Aww.
So that to me is like,
doesn't that feel good when your kid says that?
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
And we too share that commonality of being a single mom, having a son. They're both in the music industry. They're both entertainers. Both of them are film producers and they love the arts.
Yeah.
And to give back to mom, it makes it so nice and warm because we sacrifice.
Absolutely.
For our kids,
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but you sacrifice a little bit on work, a little bit on buying that extra bracelet, a little bit on, well, I'm not going to eat that so my baby can eat, those type of things.
Absolutely.
And kids really don't really realize that until they get a little older and they go, wow, my mom didn't do that so I could have this.
Oh, I think my son realized it when he got to high school and he started driving. And I sent him to drive himself to a few of his auditions. And we were living in Orange County at that time, whereas we started off in Beverly Hills, which was very convenient to get to all the acting. But if you have to go from Orange County to an audition in Beverly Hills or in Studio City or something of that nature, you're sitting on the freeways for a considerable amount of time and then turn around to drive back. It was a pretty brutal commute. And after he did it a couple of times, he says, Mommy, how did you do this for years? How did you do this? How did you even have the energy to get me? I said, think about it. I was getting you to your audition and then trying to get you back to a varsity practice because you were playing basketball or you were running track or you were, playing volleyball, but you kept me running.
And when they're young, they don't really realize that we are Wonder Woman.
Oh my goodness.
We put the baby in one arm, we got our coat on and our stilettos, and we're moving and doing our thing to make sure that they're okay.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes you a phenomenal woman to me first before your business.
Yeah, no, you absolutely, you make decisions. I made decisions. The business that I had before I had my son looked a lot different than the business that I chose to pursue after becoming a mom, because I just felt like it was so important to contribute to those formative years. And it's not something that I felt I could delegate, even though we had the assistance of the nannies and this and that. They could not impart the wisdom that I wanted to impart to my son. So it's very important that I had a very hands-on, effort in that process, but more importantly, that he could model, because I think our kids, they learn from what they see us do.
Right.
They hear us talk, but really it's about what are we really doing? What are we really doing? Yeah.
And speaking of what are you really doing, I would like Miss Stephanie to tell you the education that she's sitting on and how she started. Not only as a single mom and moved through life, you didn't allow that to stop you from achieving your education and the level where you are and where you're going and what you're still doing today. I know, but I want you to tell them.
Absolutely, yes. Well, I just completed my doctorate in business administration with a focus on international business, creating a dissertation on venture finance for independent filmmakers. But the journey to continue that education really was once I changed careers and realized that I was going to be modeling for my son. I said, I want to go ahead and finish my graduate education. And I still had some units to complete in undergrad, but I just basically put my head down and said, I'm going to finish this, I'm going to complete that, and then I'm going to go on and pursue the doctorate. And then I also started law school. So it's like,
she fills the whole room. And just having that conversation with you, I was like, okay, well, I feel like I've graduated with my master's and I've done the whole legal gamut because I vision through your empowerment. And that's what it is. So moving just a little forward from your motherhood and the empowerment in which you've demonstrated through your education, you're also giving back to the community and working with women and giving them hope and giving them substanceness and giving them, all of the things that when you feel you can't, and then you look at who has done something, it gives you that extra to say, okay, let me try one more time.
Absolutely.
Let me see what is in my life that's worthy enough for me to continue to be, so that my long life can continue on. Because many of us give up, and that's something you haven't done. And you're here in Vegas now. Let's say, welcome to Vegas, Miss Stephanie, Dr. Money. Welcome to Vegas.
Thank you.
Took you long enough to get here. I've been waiting on you for a little while.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's a new adventure. It really is. But as you spoke to, I knew early on, as just a young person in business, I had an opportunity to have my first business at 18 and to continue to grow and build a business in not only to gain some corporate exposure, but also to continue to build that entrepreneurial path. But from the beginning, I said it was going to be important to be a mentor to others and to take what I was learning and experiencing and be able to translate that to other folks in a meaningful fashion so that they could go and understand but execute. And so that's really my claim to fame. If you take one of my workshops, I am not going to just speak to you at a 50,000 foot level. I'm going to break it down and leave you basically the crumbs so that you can leave there, go to your office tomorrow and go, okay, this is what I need to do today, the next day, and the next day to begin to execute those particular strategies that may have been presented.
Yes. We're leaving the crumbs as a trail for you to follow a journey to what is to come for your future through the vision of Dr. Money. And we'll be right back after this message. Hey, it's Minnie Foxx with the Elite Network, Entertainment, Business, and Beauty. It is our desire to bring a new meaning to the word networking. Join our network club and experience the difference in entertainment, business, and the beauty fashion industry. Check us out at NJC Productions, Image Principal Studios, and the Elite Network. All of us together have bound all of our various talents to be there for you, for your business needs, for your production needs, and definitely for your special occasions. Our clients range from the business person of the actors of the universe and entertainment people. We invite you to become a member of our elite network. Your benefits range from everything from social media to our newsletter to let the world know exactly what you are doing. Check us out at theelitenetwork.com, theelitenetwork@gmail.com, and imageprinciplestudios.com. We're looking for your special stories. Well, what are you waiting for? Go, check us out.
Hi, it's Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, aka Dr. Money. I'm on the Minnie Foxx Show. And if you're looking for solutions to raise capital, to find capital, to get your friends and family to give you capital, then you probably want to check out Dr. Money so that you can finance your venture appropriately. Check me out on IamDrmoney.com. Look at me on Instagram, on Facebook, all around all the social media. Find me there so that we can make your venture prosper.
As a keynote speaker, when you're the sister girl and you're standing there with your shoulders up and you're proud in presence, and you look out across the room and you're speaking to 3,000 or more, what is the thought that's going across your mind at that moment as they are all looking at you? All eyes are on you.
So it's a feeling of being able to say, listen, I've captured their attention for a moment. Let me really give them something that will be meaningful. Not only the strategies as it relates to the business, but how can I nurture their spirit in the process, right? Because this journey called life is just that, it's a journey.
Right.
And so although we may say, okay, I've got my vision board, I've got this ideal of where I want to see my business arrive, that journey is not always straight up. You know, I had someone share with me once this analogy that when you're setting out to accomplish your goal, it's sort of like hiking, and I'm not a hiker. But what she explained to me was you go up, but in order to get to the next level, you cheat back. Okay. And then you climb up. And so in life, what I took that to mean is sometimes we believe that we're taking a path and it looks like we're off target.
Right.
And so it's very important, I say, to be obedient to the process. You know, I do a talk called God's Purpose System, GPS. And I said, sometimes you think you're off path, but God just recalculates, and gets you still to that ultimate destination.
Isn't he amazing when he does that?
It's so amazing.
It's always a bigger picture that he has for you, but we sometimes don't have the patience to kind of sit still and go, okay, what is it? We're busy going, what is it?
Right.
You know, and when we slow down and allow him to be who he is, he makes the change happen for you, and you visualize it, and you see that it was already there. It was already inside you all the time. He's just giving you those breadcrumbs to be able to follow the journey of the plan that he has laid out for your life.
Absolutely.
With that being said, you're here in Vegas now. Vegas! You know, my son hates it when I say Viva Las Vegas, but Viva Las Vegas. So what do you have planned? If you could give us just a little teeny amount of what you're going to be doing here in Vegas. Don't spill all the beans.
No.
But just a little bit. Just to make everyone be able to follow Dr. Money and to listen to what she's telling you.
Absolutely. Well, my core business is real estate development. So I'm exploring real estate development opportunities, obviously. But as I've taken a look at this market, and I realized that on the business development side, there are a lot of entrepreneurs hungry for additional input and insight to really grow and scale their businesses. And so for me, whenever I'm on my own path, I always still at the same time want to help other people pursue what they're pursuing and take their business efforts to the next level. So I will be doing training and development. I will continue to advance my dissertation around the venture finance, not only for independent filmmakers, but venture finance for entrepreneurs across asset classes. So I'll, and then that personal growth and development, I'll continue to educate around financial literacy, not only in a personal, but really mine's is, my belief is that every family should have a business, and the business needs to really be a thriving, sustainable organization that you can build that will create a legacy for your family. And oftentimes that part of the additional ingredient is not always present for people. You say, okay, I started my business, but you may have created a job. How do I take that to creating a business where it's functioning whether or not I show up? And then it has a value. So when I'm looking towards exiting that business, I can sell that business and our family can realize the gains.
Right. So in actuality, the breadcrumbs that she was talking about earlier, they're really biscuits, because her breadcrumbs are pretty huge. So that means you need to grab one, chomp it down, and pay attention. Now, we're very excited that you came to Vegas, because Vegas needs to evolve in the same light in which you're describing, and to be a motivational speaker, a mother, a woman of empowerment, and to be able to reach back and give hope to our young people. And not just the young people, but to the women that are starting their lives over from a divorce or starting their lives over from domestic violence or whatever it may have been. You give them hope.
Absolutely.
You give them a vision, because if you can do it,
absolutely,
that means they can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They can.
Yeah. And that's why we have to demystify. Sometimes people see success. And so a lot of times you think, oh my goodness, that person became an overnight success. But they don't understand the commitment that was necessary to ultimately end up at that destination. And they don't understand when you took what you thought was a side road. I mean, there have been plenty of times that I've had a conversation with God like, Lord, okay, why am I here? I can't see how this has anything to do with getting over there.
Exactly.
And I'll tell people that, there were times in my career that I may have taken an executive position, and I pull up in the parking lot and have my little 5-minute cry, then I dry my eyes and game on.
Go in there and game on and make it happen.
Game on. Let's make it happen.
Because we're good at doing that.
In each opportunity, oh my goodness, I would not give up those opportunities now with hindsight going, oh my gosh, that offered me a piece that would fit into my puzzle perfectly and then allow me to now run 3 or 4 more steps that had I not been willing to trust the process, then I would have missed that potential opportunity for growth. So yeah, it's just, keep your eyes focused on what you're looking to accomplish and be willing to grow. None of us are all knowing. And so that's the thing that I tell myself is, what, I love to learn, and I can learn from any situation.
Right.
And so that allows every situation to be a contribution towards what I'm hoping to accomplish.
Being a sponge, no matter how old you are, means you're always teachable.
Yes.
And the more you can absorb, you can always squeeze it out later for someone else to absorb, as they are a sponge as well. Your educational component as a woman, your motherhood, your friendship, and the difference that you're going to bring to Las Vegas, we welcome you with open arms. Do you really think that the pieces of the puzzle that she's talking about, that you're going to get all the pieces of the puzzle in this talk show? No, because we will have you to come back, and we're going to follow your career here in Las Vegas and what you're doing, and we're going to be putting the pieces of the puzzle together as she journeys to show you why Dr. Money is simply amazing. And then you'll see truly what we're talking about here today. Just give you just a little bit at a time. When I am on stage and I am speaking to that various room of followers, and as I mentioned to you earlier, the thought in my mind is that if I reach one, if I reached one out of that 3,000 people, then my job was done, because somebody heard me. Everybody hears you, but it's usually one that really absorbs what it is you said, and then the others will get it later.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you will agree there's nothing more rewarding to your career when you're speaking as to run across someone that says, oh, hey, you're in my church, or you spoke here, or, oh, it's you. I did what you said, and look at me, or what have you. Then your work has been done?
Oh my goodness, it happens so often. I'm adjunct faculty, and the students come up and tell me sometimes, even a couple years later, I followed the advice that you gave me. Oh, thank you so much. You were a real present professor and really took an interest in what I'm up to. Here's what I'm doing now. So it's so exciting. Absolutely.
It's so exciting.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little piece of her major puzzle. We've already put it in place. We're going to toast to you right now, to your success of what you're doing currently, what's coming, and the major future impact that she will have on our future leaders, which are all of our young people. Hats off to you. Cheers to you, Miss, or I should say Madam. Ooh, that's even better than Miss, you guys. Madam Dr. Money, right? All right, girl, here's to you. Thank you. That has been our show for the day. With our Women of Empowerment segment, I encourage you to call in with your stories and share with us what makes you a woman of empowerment. Dr. Money, that has been our show. We're going to follow you. We thank God and we pray for you that everything that you touch, do this, everything that you touch will sprinkle those biscuits and people will enjoy and eat and have an abundance of life, because within that is hope.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank
You are welcome.